OCM, Troia, Wichita, Queensna, Squamish Nation, and Hats and Squallowin, and Stomo, Yo and Hats. What I've shared in Squamish language is a brief introduction of myself. My ancestral name is Wichita, and my given name is Dennis Joseph, and I am from the Squamish Nation. I also bring warm greetings on behalf of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish people. Been working for Vancouver Coastal for a couple years now in the role as elder and knowledge keeper, and share teachings with our core group, and also reach out to helpers in the city where we do broaden the scope of knowledge as it relates to Indigenous people. I'm grateful and thankful for all of our caretakers, our helpers, our frontline workers, and want to lift my hands up to you as a symbol of respect and honor for all that you do and all that you are, and in particular thank your families for sharing yourself with the world, really, to rid us of this pandemic and what we're all going through as humanity here. I want to share with you a bit of a personal journey where just over 3 years ago now, I suffered a stroke, and very rare form of stroke, and with the help of the frontline workers of the day, still I am in recovery and healing, and doing much better than, let's say, the first month in the hospital. Also want to share with you, something very deep and personal that got me through those trying times, along with the support of family and friends and other healers who came to my aid. My hands are up to them as well. But what I want to share with you, what got to me, was a teaching I heard many, many years ago in our longhouse, that if you ever go into deep trauma, is to sing. My great granny, who was at least 108 when she passed in the early 70s, was one of my first teachers about that. And she shared that as individuals, we all have a song, something to share, something to help heal. And very fortunate to have learned a few songs along the way, and as the saying goes, picked up a few teachings in that great highway in the sky, where it's been described as a place where songs come down. Those songs got me through it right from the get-go, from the onslaught of the stroke. And the other one was my mother, who taught me that as well, was to sing. So that teaching got me through those times, and I kept repeating them over and over and over. As many songs as I could remember, traditional songs, even a few rock and blues songs. I kept singing them to myself in my heart and mind. And when I was in the rehab part of the hospital on the machines, I would hum them away. One of the first things they did to me on the third or fourth day was got me up and taught me how to walk, and I would be in that machine that held me up and kept me going. And I really want to give back to you, all of the health care workers, at the end of this video, and share an honor song with you that comes from me, and I'll share that along the way. One of the important things of our elders and caretakers and healers really in our community is such a vital and important role that's gone on for generations. And they're still here. They still help through their good thoughts, their good prayers, their hands-on healers, people of plants that know the knowledge to share healing medicines for our people, and that beautiful gift that they all have collectively, I believe, adds to our humanity and keeps us all together. And one of the strong teachings, really insightful family history, was we knew people from the four directions were coming here, and vital and important, and that was handed down through the generations was through story. That floating islands were coming with trees on them and ghosts in the trees. And when it manifested itself here in the inlet, it was actually a tall ship that represented the floating island. And the trees were the masts that moved the ship along. And the ghosts in the trees were the sailors unfurling the sails. So when that happened, in our oral history, again from great granny, grandmothers, and mothers really, they said that the Squamish people went out in their canoes and they escorted the ship in with eagle down, spread in front of the ship, and welcomed them. So there's a gift of kindness, a gift of strength through song and prayer. I'm grateful and thankful for all of you today that are really putting your lives at risk. And I want to share with you a song I call Anina, a word I heard growing up. I'm one of 11 children, and I'm right in the middle. Anytime any one of us fell as toddlers, or even when we got older, the grannies and mothers would say that, Anina. And along the way, when I got older, I asked my mom, what does that mean? She said, Anina is a word to help keep your spirit, your soul together. Yes, we all fall, she said. We all get hurt and we all get up. She said, that's the first thing you have to do, is get up. But along the way, just to make sure, that word is to help keep your soul and your spirit together. I was blessed with this song a few years ago now, and want to honor all of you frontline workers, and hands are up to you in gratefulness and thankfulness for your continued work for Stomo, our human beings, and all of those working to help rid us of this pandemic. And probably no secret to you all, we've been through this as Indigenous people before. We've been here. And it's in our bones, as elders say, what we can do to help ourselves along. We know what to do. We know how to pray. We know how to care. We know how to share. And the other thing was to eat what's around you. Hammered in my head as a boy. Eat all of those traditional foods. And I know science has caught up to this, and it's really what has kept us here as Indigenous people, all of the wild game that we were able to eat here, as opposed to our tropical brothers and sisters who didn't have the wild game to build those immunities in their bodies over generations. So we're very fortunate, very lucky, very blessed. Here as a Northwest Indigenous Squamish, now an elder, who's starting to own that a bit more. What's kept us here is our food and our diet. So I want to feed your souls, you frontline workers, and honor you and thank you, and to you again, to you and your families. Anina. 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 And ha tisha ochomeo, Mother Earth, Hoichoch, Stomoch, fellow human beings, Yo and Hat, Quichtal, Queen Star, Squamish ochomeo, and Hat, Mosquium, Slaotooth, Way Chachyo. Y'all be careful now. Enjoy your day.